Meeting started. Stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm going to say the prayer tonight. Lord, we thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for your goodness to us. We thank you for this great nation. God, we ask you, Lord, that you'll help us, direct us in every decision we have to make. God, help us that we can have wisdom. We ask you to bless and move over us in everything that we do, and we will never fail to give you the praise. In Jesus' name, amen. Amen. All right, we'll call the meeting to order. All the magistrates is here. You get a motion for the approval of the meeting minutes, of the January 16 regular meeting minutes. Motion by Ed, second by Carl. All in favor? All right, motion unanimous. Okay, we don't have any unfinished business. New business, we'll move to roads. Kenny, you want to give your director's report?
Yes, sir. We've been hauling a lot of rock for the gravel roads. The grader box with the tractor really works out great. Been getting a lot of ditches dug. We've had to take the ditcher down to Aaron's. He had to weld up a couple of places on it, but we got that done, so they'll be back out tomorrow. And we're down on Kavanaugh Lane. We're going to be headed to Turkey Run tomorrow, Kevin, to get that taken care of down there. So everything's going pretty smooth. The last snow, we just had to go out in Kevin's district. Montford Road over there is a cold spot in the county, and that thing gets slick. So we had to go out a little bit for a couple hours on Saturday to take care of that. But other than that, everything's going okay. So.
All right, any questions for Kenny? Okay, committee report, Brad.
Yeah, we discussed ditching, as he said, and we've got a lot of culverts that are clogged up, and we're going to have to discuss that with you down the road and see what we can do. I don't know. Some of them need to be dug out, but you know it costs so much to do that. And talked about maintenance of all the equipment, and basically that's about it this time. We were discussed putting in the paper for sealed bids on a F-550 dump truck, 4-wheel drive, and cat excavator 308 for, I think it's got to be in the paper for 7 days for sealed bid. So that's about it.
We'll need that in the form of a motion to be able to put that in the paper, so.
I move that we put that in the paper, sealed bid for the excavator and the 550 truck.
I second.
All right, second by Kevin. All in favor? All right, motion carried. Thank you. And Brad, to that, talking about the culverts being stocked up, I think that excavator, we could probably get a piece of railroad track and push that through there and clean a lot of those culverts out.
We talked, that's like 2 or 3 places we talked about, you know, the ditcher on the tractor, some places it does a good job, but
Some places.
when you're going from one culvert to the other and the culvert and they're stopped up, you know where the water goes.
Yes,
Goes
yes.
across the
So
road.
there's a place for both pieces to be
Yeah.
used.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that excavator, Brad, you're isolating a cat unit specific, so there's only gonna be one bid on that, I would imagine, coming from Boyd.
Well, I mean,
Should we do or equal,
it's we're advertising for a used machine.
a used machine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, we can't swing a new. I mean, it's the one we've been renting is 308. Got the ditch bucket, the thumb. I mean, it's
Perfect for what we need.
Yeah, I was thinking you were gonna do something.
they took it over and were a farm road over in the Spree and done that job over there where the bridge.
Have you been down there, Roger?
I went through there when they were.
Couldn't do it with. I mean,
It was a big unit.
yeah, it was, but it worked good.
And we can move and transport that side unit easy with our equipment.
Is that the same unit you used over on Span Lake?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yeah. So it's pretty versatile.
Yeah.
yeah. And that's the thing, like on that bridge at Span Lane, you can turn it all the way around sideways and then push that right through there. Or if it's with that thumb on there, if one was, one big tree was coming out the other end of the culvert, the low end, he just got a hold to it, the thumb pulled it out. So
And so many places that you can't use a backhoe, you can use this thing, and, like I said, some of the ditches really need and, well, everybody's area, you know, with the thing on the bush hog tractor, it won't clean them out good enough, so it's handy for a lot of things.
Yeah. All right, any other questions?
So on that motion, do they want to give permission for the road committee to make a decision on the bids when they come in, or are we waiting till the next fiscal court meeting, or how do you want to?
I move that the road committee make the decision, because we need to move forward with this.
I'll second it.
All right, all in favor with that? All right, motion carried. Okay, we move on to planning and zoning solid waste. Jason's off this week, so Travis, I think you have the,
He gave me his report. So from January 12th of 2023 to February 15th of 24, they had 28 electrical permits and 15 building permits. Next meeting dates, the Board of Adjustments will meet on February 26th at 7 p.m. here at the Henry County 4-H building. Planning and zoning meeting will be March 13th at 6 p.m. Also here at the 4-H building.
all right. We'll move on to parks and fairgrounds. Toby?
We've been working up the ball fields. We have travel teams as well as the middle school girls practicing and trying out on the field 3 side. We had flag football starting last week with their practices, and they will be starting games in March on the football field. So I met with them over the weekend. We went out and marked up and staked out what their field will look like. So I'm gonna try to get it painted within the next couple of weeks. 4-H has started taking sign-ups for our small engine classes. So we will have that, which also starts in March. So weather permitting, the next few days, we'll be trying to get the parks unwinterized and bathrooms open, so we can work with that.
If we keep this warm weather, you're gonna be mowing grass all, real quick too. All right. Any questions for Toby? Okay, committee report.
Yes, we had a meeting, we had 3 to interview, 1 didn't show, 2 did. As far as I know, we got Dexter Shouts, we'll be starting soon, I guess, with approval. We spoke on the wood out there at the playground. It's been a problem with the splinters and stuff, kids getting them feet, getting them pumped, causing problems, which we got a grant we were eligible for. We're gonna try this rubber playground deal. We're kind of looking at a second truck for the parks crew to have. We spoke on we got a skag mower that's 13 years old, starting to have some issues. Kind of get it on the agenda to replace, but we're going to plan on running it till it falls apart on us, so hopefully it'll get through the season. It's something kind of be aware of. And the night events out here has kind of gotten expensive. Lights, water, and stuff. We've been charging $200, and we don't know if it's going to cover the full expense. The way things have gone up, so we have moved that up to $250 for fairgrounds at nights, for nights, weekends, water, stuff. So, that's about it.
Okay, what we'll need is a request to apply for that grant. I need a motion. Okay, a motion by Brad. Second by Ed. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, on the fence estimate, Travis, you
So I've
want-
got 2 estimates for that baseball fence. One was from Penrod at $50,720. One was from Baxter Fence Company for $49,500. So we need to, I guess,
We need to
vote on accepting one so we can proceed forward with that.
Is that for all the fence, the dugouts, everything?
So the dugouts are going to be block dugouts that are going in there, but that's all the fencing for the field and gates to be able to get equipment in and players on and off the fields. The backstop. I believe the length of that field is going to be about 225 feet, so it'll be pretty similar to Field 2 in size comparison.
I'll make a motion for Baxter.
All right, the motion for Baxter Fence. Second by Carl. Any other questions? All right, all in favor? All right, motion carried. We'll contact them tomorrow and let them know so they can get the process started. All right, Animal Services, Danielle.
This month, last month, in December, we made $355 worth of donation, adoptions, $73 in donations, and only $10 for pet licensing, as well as we received about $300 worth of donations this month. So total received was $738. We had 13 nuisance calls, 2 bite reports, 9 nuisance, and 3 after-hour calls, just for last month. And I also wanted to take the honor of actually introducing our part-time ACO as well. She's here today. And her name is Cassie Aldridge, so you guys will be seeing her in the community more.
Glad to have you on board.
Thank you. Any questions for Danielle? All right. Committee report.
Committee met, January 24th, and I'll go ahead and say that we're gonna meet, with Trimble County again March 4th at 4 p.m. at the, dog shelter. We continue to try to have these meetings, with Trimble County to hash out any issues that are going on. One thing that we wanna do is the ordinance, tighten up the ordinance and make it conform to what Trimble County, wants as well. They had their meeting today. I think they approved the first reading based on what we're gonna come up with as well. So they're wanting to do exactly like we did. The ordinance you'll be looking at, I'm sure you've seen already, but the consensus was the adoption fee being at $200. And then for dogs that need spayed, neutered, and rabies and all these shots and such. And the reason for that is because it's currently costing us $180 to get it done. So we don't feel like we should lose money on animals that we're adopting out. And then $50 for dogs that don't require any vetting. So we tried to be a little bit lenient on that. So again, the new ordinance is kind of important that we get that done. The first reading tonight, and that way Trimble County will as well, and we'll have a consistent ordinance across both counties.
Okay, any questions for Roger? All right, we'll move on to this, replacing this ordinance. This is one ordinance replacing another one. Cassidy, you wanna
Sure.
talk about that?
This is the Henry County Fiscal Ordinance, an ordinance amendment repealing and replacing our prior ordinance number 94-8-1 and establishing a comprehensive county dog licensing and animal control ordinance. Whereas Henry County Fiscal Court enacted ordinance number 94-8-1 in August of 1994, and only having had one amendment to said ordinance in July of 2012. And whereas the Henry County Animal Control Committee, having met and proposed to amend and update said ordinance to establish a more comprehensive ordinance addressing animal control, license, confinement, treatment, and penalties thereof. As a statement of the general synopsis that Mr. Hartledge already stated, we added in your packet, you'll see the entire ordinance. The definition section number 1 included all prior definitions of our ordinance in 94, but expanded that extensively. Section number 2, restraint required, isn't added to our prior ordinance. Section licensing of kennels and pet shops is an addition to our prior ordinance. Issuance of citation is an addition to our prior ordinance. Humane treatment of dogs is an addition. Standards for commercial kennel is an addition. Standards for non-commercial kennels is an addition. Standards for pet shops, also addition. Adoption of animals from the Henry County Animal Control Shelter, an addition. Theatrical exhibit, an addition. Exhibitions of wild or vicious animals prohibited, an addition. Non-applicability of non-residents, an addition. Interference with enforcement prohibited, also added. Sale of exotic species, added. And we amended the final penalty section, including our prior 1994 ordinance with a more expansive penalty explanation that includes a fee schedule, which you would, a reference to a fee schedule attached to your final page is just there. That allows the committee, both Henry and Trimble, to amend their fees from time to time so that we're not in the situation we were in before where we had fees set in 94 and never addressed or changed. So that gives the committee the authority to meet timely without having to amend an ordinance each time they change a fee.
Under the section about exhibition of wild or vicious animals, how does that, with like birds of prey shows and exhibits and those kind of things, how does that affect that?
So they're permitted. They would need a permit.
Yeah, from the state, I mean, and Hill certificate.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
But they're allowed.
They're allowed as long as they're properly permitted.
And this is the first reading. If you see something that you'd like to have changed or whatever, you can get with us and we can amend it before the second reading.
I'll make a motion.
All right, motion passed. The second by Kevin. All in favor? All right. Thank you. I know it's a lot of reading, but
Thanks, Cassie, that's a lot of work on your part.
No problem.
Yes, it was.
okay. Economic Development Committee update. Roger?
We don't have a whole lot to update. We did, the committee, the other committee that meets prior to this meeting today. Amy Charles is our chairman, and Mike Ray's our vice chair. We just got nothing new to report, actually.
All right. Okay, we'll move on to the next Henry County Conservation District. Alan Bryant with us tonight.
Thank you. I just want to do a brief update, so I'll kind of get to the point. Henry County Conservation District, our purpose is to conserve our natural resources in Henry County. We try to do that through a couple of different ways: technical assistance as well as cost share, financial assistance. We'll try to do that through federal programs, state programs as well. If you have, and this is for, let me clarify, this is for primarily livestock. If you want to put in fence-off creeks, ponds, put in water fountains, grass waterways, just a number of things. If you want to make improvements on your farm, we're there to help you through technical assistance and perhaps through cost sharing. Also on a local level, after the 1st of July, we'll try to have a lime and cover crop program that we can do cost share with you as well. The Henry County Conservation District also has conservation equipment for rent. There's a no-till drill. It's a 7.5 foot drill that goes down the road really well behind your pickup truck. That's for rent if you want to do that, as well as a hydraulic post driver. It goes every which way to put fence in. NRCS spends more money on fencing off streams and putting fence in than anything else. So, I'm sorry, let me let me clarify that, NRC is Natural Resources Conservation Service. So that's who we're in partnership along with the Kentucky Division of Conservation, that we try to get conservation on the ground. Just wanted to mention a couple other things. Sometime in April, I can't give you the date, it'll probably be on a Sunday afternoon. In probably the latter part of April, we're going to be giving away tree seedlings. Now, these are small. You got to be patient. It takes a little bit of time, but the Conservation District we've ordered about 2,700 trees, and they'll go out to every fourth grader and in the county, as well as Head Start and preschool. So hopefully we get those trees put in the ground. Can't give you a date yet. Those come from the Kentucky Division of Forestry, and they have to have the weather to be able to dig them, and plus they provide trees throughout the state. I'm going to guess and say they got to dig around 100,000 trees or so across the state. So we just got to be patient and like us on Facebook. We'll try to give you that date. Again, hopefully it'll be on a Sunday afternoon, probably the second or third Sunday, my guess. But we'll put that out there on Facebook as well. One other thing, the Conservation District sponsors a art and writing contest. Just want to mention this past year, we had 700 students participate in that. It's a great opportunity to teach our kids here in the county about conservation, trees, soil, wildlife. It's a great opportunity, and I'm thrilled to see that so many people participate in that, and the teachers take the time to do that as well. We're going to be experimenting with a pollinator plot, perhaps with the parks, county parks, and we'll see how that goes. If it goes well, we'll try to open it up to everybody next year and go from there. Do you have any questions? Thanks for your time.
Thank you, Alan. All right, next we got Stacy Rockaway with Congressman Massey's office. Thank you for coming.
Certainly, thank you very much, Judge. I guess I'll stand over here as well. Just wanted to talk with you all, just a friendly, quick reminder that I am Congressman Massey's eyes and ears while he's in D.C. 4 or 5 days a week. I'm here on the ground in his 8 western counties of his district. So if you are having any type of issue with a federal agency, feel free to give us a call. I have business cards and brochures for everybody up here. I also have extra back there in case anybody would like some. Just quickly, probably the top calls that we get are Social Security, Medicare, Disability, Veterans Benefits, and IRS. But any federal agency, if you're having an issue, feel free to give us a call. We can usually open up a congressional inquiry and try to help out. One of the really quick stories I'd like to tell is we had a little old lady who called and she got a letter from the IRS, from Social Security telling her she was not going to get her benefits anymore because she had passed away. And she was very, very nice about it. And someone had just typed in Social Security number incorrectly. So it can be weird stuff, whatever. But just give us a call and we'll try to look into it to help. We can't guarantee the outcome, but we'll look into it. Other very quick things. Federal grant money is few and far between these days, except for, of course, the ARPA money. If you all decide to go for a federal grant, you belong to an organization that wants to try for a federal grant, the Congressman is happy to write a letter of support for that because it's your tax money that went to D.C. to fund those grants, and he's happy to try to bring that home. Military academies. If you know any kids who are trying to get into a military academy, they have to have a letter of recommendation from either their congressman, one of their U.S. senators, the president, or the vice president. There are literally 2 application processes. They have to go through the application process with the academy itself and with one of their elected officials. So have them give us a call. We'll get them all the paperwork and tell them the schedule, things like that. Have them call early. If they call freshman or sophomore year, that's even better. And last but probably most importantly, if you see a bill that's coming up that is going to affect you, whether it's fiscal court and county business, or it's your business that you personally work with, or friends, neighbors, that you approve of or you disapprove of, call our office. There are 750,000 people in this district. We probably average 10 calls a day. And so if you call, you're probably going to have an outsized sway on what is going on. But, you know, the congressman likes to hear when these bills are coming up, how it's gonna affect people at home. And he has a really good memory. He can, even if the bill doesn't come up for a couple of months, he'll remember the calls he gets. Because the calls, we log the calls, they go into a database, and then they're emailed to him at the end of the day. So your call doesn't stop with a staff member like me, it actually is read by the congressman. So, just wanted to let you all know that. I can stay to the end of the meeting in case anybody has any questions or anything to pass on to the congressman tonight. And again, I do have more of the brochures and business cards in case anybody, needs it or, needs any type of assistance at the federal level. And thank you very much, Judge, for letting me be here.
Thank you. And I want to say, Stacy, I texted her last Sunday or Monday. We was in Washington with Keiko, and I said I wanted to know if the congressman was in town. He wasn't coming in till Tuesday afternoon, so she said you couldn't meet with him, but she set up for us to have a tour and of the Capitol, and we did that. And then while we was with Mitch McConnell's office staff, they text back from the congressman's office, and he was coming in at 4:30 for a vote, and he said it should be over by 7:15 if we could wait that late for dinner. So we was able to meet him for dinner, and Marianne and myself, and it was very nice, and he didn't have to take time to do that, but I really did appreciate that. I'm going to say it public. All right. Thank you all. Okay, we need to set the cost of living for the elected officials. We usually vote on this when I was a magistrate, we'd vote on it every year. And we need to put it, we have always voted for elected officials. Myself, Shanda, Keith,
Those three.
who else?
Jailer if it's a full-time jailer.
And jailer, if it's full-time jailer, is set by the state. So we can't do anything about those, but the other elected officials is not set by the state, and it's my understanding that we've probably looked over some, which would be the jailer, the coroner,
An attorney.
and the county attorney. So it's my opinion we need to put those separate from the magistrates, because the magistrates can vote whether to take your raise or to pass it up. And so I would like to have a motion first to just, what I would like to see is for the previous people that I've mentioned to just be on the state, whatever the state says that they should be as far as the cost of living increase. Just let that go, and then the magistrates every year can just set their own, whether they want to take the raise or whether they want to pass it up, so that you all don't have to deal with that every year.
I'll make a motion. The elected officials outside of the magistrates to take the state allocated cost of living raise.
Okay, got a motion? Second by Kevin, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Okay, now, with the magistrates, you can vote to take the raise, or you can vote to turn it down. It's completely up to you all, but we need to have
It's 3.4% this year, is what the cost of living.
I'll make a motion, turn it down.
I'll second.
all right. Any questions? All right, all in favor? Okay, motion carries. So we'll leave that the same, Amanda.
That 3% put me over budget.
Yeah, I know it.
It's a higher tax bracket, isn't it?
Okay, sheriff's report. Keith.
We responded to 245 calls to KSV dispatch, 148 calls into the sheriff's office, had 56 citation and criminal summons, 29 criminal arrests, 22 warrant arrests, served 149 court papers, transported 4 MIWs, had 40 vehicle inspections, 3 carry conceal license, and 2 drug charge arrests.
All right, any questions for Keith? Okay, we'll move on to the sheriff's excess fees.
We had budgeted to give back $13,421.18 in excess fees. The actual amount that I have a check for tonight is $102,474.93.
That's a big one, thank you. Okay, we had to have a motion to accept that.
That won't be a problem.
It'll make that motion.
Who's second?
Second by Brad, all in favor? All right, thank you, Keith. Okay, County Clerk, Shanda.
Good evening. All right, I've got this.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Our 2023 receipts came in at $5,410,600. I can't read. $5,410,650.06. Our expenditures were $4,857,921.40. Final settlement to Henry County Fiscal Court is $171,288.76. Our estimated 23 excess fees check was $88,668, difference being over of $82,620.76. That is excellent. We have a storage fee account. Each month we send a check to the storage fee account. It comes from all of our recording fees at $10 a document. These funds are to be used for any coverage of any storage permanent record that comes into our office. This is to act as a savings account, so we do not have to go back and ask for fiscal court for any money that we need. Last year we did purchase deed books and 2 plat cabinets without touching anything, so that was wonderful. With Miss Olivia Harrell's help here, we also were awarded a Department of Library and Archives fee for $20,087.50. This is because we're under contract to do a $60-year scanning fee that is set by the state. Olivia is way over target on that. She's doing a great job. So at $20,000, thanks to Olivia back there. The election, I know this is later on in the docket, but this election is kind of putting a hindrance to the remodeling of this building. I just want to say thank you guys. I know this really needs it, but to try to change 4 years of getting people to come and vote, early voting in this one spot, change is not good to a lot of people. And if we can keep it in this same spot, that would be fantastic. So thank you all. Yeah. There's a lot of places we used to vote that are not handicap accessible. So can I ask Henry County Fiscal Court to accept my excess fees check?
I'm gonna do accept it.
Thank you.
All right, motion by Danny, second by Brad, all in favor? All right.
We got these 2 checks, we should have took that rate.
Yeah.
Amend that.
That's why you put it on the docket first.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Shanda.
Can I steal your copy?
Yes, ma'am. Okay, we'll go ahead and move on to the first reading of the ordinance establishing a transient room tax. Thank you, Cassidy, for working on this. She's been working on this for several months, trying to get it where it fits our county. And we still may need to tweak it before the second reading, but it'll get us started anyway. And whereas the Henry County Fiscal Court has the authority pursuant to the provisions of the KRS 142.400 statewide transient room tax and KRS 91.34 room tax and KRS 91A.350 to pass ordinances to establish a tourist and convention commission for purpose of promoting convention and tourism. And whereas Henry County Fiscal Court has the authority pursuant of the provisions, the KRS 91A.390 to impose a transient room tax. So that's what this will be. And like I say, we may need to, Roger was asking a question right before the meeting. We may need to do some tweaking if it's available, but we'll have to check on that. But that's the first reading of to put in for the transient room tax. So what's your thoughts? Need a motion to accept the first reading?
Does it mention in here what the percentage would be? I read through it, but I didn't. 3%.
It's 3
Because it's, right now, it's just blank.
on section 6.
But it does need to be filled in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's 3% here though.
I'll make a motion to approve transfer room tax.
I think this is a good thing to collect and be able to use it for tourism. I think would be great in Henry County.
I'll second.
Okay, second by Danny. Any other questions? All right. All in favor? Okay, motion carries. Thank you. All right. Now, this kind of goes along with that. It's a first reading of ordinance establishing short-term rental property permit and licensing. And the ordinance, whereas the Henry County Fiscal Court has authority to establish and pass ordinances defining the type of real property by planning and zoning and commission, and to pass ordinances to establish a tourist and convention commission for the purpose of promoting convention and tourist activity, and to impose a transient room tax. So that's what this is, where we can put they'll be able to get a license, so we know where it's gonna be, who will be sending it. I think we have to do this to get this to, the tax to work.
I move that we accept the first reading.
Okay, motion by Danny, second by Ed. All in favor? All right. I think this is something we've been working on for months. Well, ever since I've been in office, we're just trying to get it all kind of tweaked where we need it to be. So hopefully we can get that done. All right. An ethics board discussion. We meeting with Cassidy, she says that we do need an ethics board for fiscal court. So right now, it can't be fiscal court members, it's gotta be public members. So I would like the permission to find the people to go put on this ethics board. It's gotta be approved by fiscal court, but we need to make that in the form of a motion for me to be able to get that done. We need,
I'll make a motion.
So once you find them, we approve them?
yes, we'll bring them to you all for approval.
You'll
You
appoint.
appoint them.
You would appoint.
But I still need to let them approve them, don't
You can,
I? We don't?
if they make the motion to allow you the authority to appoint.
I'll move that Scott elects them, picks them and approves them.
All in favor? All right, we'll get that rolling then.
So that original motion was from Brad. Do we want to change that to Danny?
Is that okay with you, Brad?
Fine, man.
Will there be I'm assuming there'll be a code?
Yes.
I know we have a county code for employees, but there'll be a code.
We're attempting to locate it. So the last information I can find in Ms. Harrod's records were from 1994. There was the last records that she had retained in our office were from 2007 of the committee members at the time, but I cannot locate a copy of the 1994 regulations. If we can't locate those at the office, at the judge's office, then the committee's task will be to redraft and start over with a new code of ethics.
All right, thank you. Okay, we've got a request from Constable running the blue lights. I did put a letter in your packet that comes from Rich Ornstein, Keiko's attorney, which they don't suggest it, but we've been over this I think 2 or 3 times now, and the fiscal court has always denied it. But it's completely up to you all. What's your thoughts on it?
With the constable question, did we have a problem with our animal control previously using blue lights also?
Yes, and I will say they just indicted a constable somewhere in Kentucky. I don't know where, week before last, for running blue lights.
Animal control, I don't think ran blue lights, did it?
They did to start with, and then they went to red lights, yeah. But it was a problem with.
Well, if it seems like it's gonna leave us, the county open to some kind of a liability, Cassidy, is that correct? If that leaves us open to a liability, I don't see any reason we should do it.
So the statute, you as a fiscal court has the authority to allow your constables to run blue lights or not.
Right, but
if they're permitted under the statute. But then there's a twofold. If you do vote to allow them blue lights, then they themselves are required to carry an additional insurance policy because of the high liability.
Liability insurance?
Yes. And that's in KRS 189-950. So I agree with Mr. Ornstein.
They already don't get paid, so, which is, but it's pretty bad to ask them. I have to ask them to carry insurance too, which, I mean, I understand it, but, so.
I'll move that we deny the request because of the liability involved.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other discussion?
I would like to add the other people that's not qualified too, the animal control, anybody else that might use the blue lights. You know what I mean?
But they're not using animal control.
Animal control does not have blue lights on their vehicle.
Okay.
Yeah, there's
Maybe it went down, but.
yeah, they're off.
I think
They
that was
don't.
grounds for termination at one point, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's not an issue anymore. What it was is we had handed cars down, and before we handed this pickup truck down, they took all the blue lights out of it, and so there's no blue lights for them to even be able to run. So. All right, we got a motion and a second. All in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you. Okay, the 4-H building discussion, future meeting location. Shanda come to us when we was planning on going ahead and starting this construction, and brought up the early voting. And I agree with her. We don't want to do anything that would hinder people from voting, which I kind of enjoy it myself to drive out here on Thursday or Friday and come and vote early, and it's secured, and that is part of the issue. Is it has to be someplace in a secured area, and this is a secured area where no other public is. We even switched the locks on the doors for that during that time, but so in case there's a key floating out there somewhere, they won't, there's not another key because, we switched the locks out. So this is very secure, so we felt that it would probably be in our best interest to just hold off just a little bit on that. And probably fall of the year would be better as far as getting a roof tore off and put back on versus this time of the year anyway, so.
Well, they're gonna be voting here again in October? Is that?
In November.
Well, so,
We
yeah,
will,
from June to.
We're gonna have to do it
Need
like
to
August
bid.
1st, as soon as showcase is
We're gonna-
done and the
we're gonna
fairground's
get
done
bids
being used.
and Get everything lined out, so when, cause,
yes, yeah, it's gonna have to be
yeah,
lined out to, ready to start soon as,
June,
we get done with the,
yeah.
Harvest Showcase.
I guess Harvest Showcase is the last thing. Is that after the fair?
Yeah,
Okay.
fair's toward the end of June,
Yeah,
and it's
yeah.
the very
So-
last Saturday.
So
of
yeah,
June.
we'll be ready.
About 2 months, 3 months.
Yeah. So that's the discussion that we just have to do that and try to make it where we can still use the building when we need it and, but still get some remodeling done also. So that's really just so the public knows what's going on. We hate to keep moving it around, but we got obligations we have to take care of. All right, claims and transfers.
I make a motion to approve them.
All right, motion by Kevin, second by Brad. All in favor? Okay, motion carried.
Sorry, we need to add the ball field fence on there.
Yes, I'm sorry, we, that motion needs to be with the.
Include the
so
$49,500.
we can go ahead and, we won't pay for all the ball field fence, but we gotta pay so they can get material. So we need to put the ball field fence on that $49,500
Make a
addition.
motion we'll apply that also to our claims.
Okay, is that okay with you, Danny, or, Brad, on your second? All right. Everybody's voted for that, so everybody okay with that? All right, thank you. Okay, public comments, 3 minutes per speaker. Mike?
I'd like to congratulate the court for pursuing this transient room tax. I think it's gonna be a great benefit to the county, so I appreciate y'all doing that.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it will be a benefit to the county. There's so many things that we can do with that as far as promoting our county, and I think it'd be very beneficial.
I have a question.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
in the past, our office used to be in charge of the transient merchant permits and fees. Where is that going to be paid for?
Just through the treasurer.
Through the treasurer, the county treasurer will collect.
Through the judge's office?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Through you all.
We nominated you.
We figured you'd love that.
Well, this new Kentucky transportation system gave us, we got it about half working.
Yes, ma'am.
And, anybody coming in there for March renewals, please bring patience and a sandwich.
Is a sandwich for you all or for them?
Maybe Mountain Dew for us. Sandwich.
I know it has been very heavy.
Numbers, your VIN numbers, blood type,
Yeah. All right, any other public comment? All right, court comments. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Motion by Danny, second by Brad, all in favor? All right, motion carries. Thank you, everybody, for being here tonight.
That was very-
Thank you.